Welcome to the lecture of data science. In this video lecture, we will start with the unit number 4, that is the sampling and estimation. And in this, we will see the topics such as the introduction to sampling, population parameters and sample statistics, and again we will see the sampling in depth. So let's get started. The first one, that is the importance of sampling. So why sampling is necessary? So the sampling is necessary when it is difficult or expensive to collect the data on the entire population. So the inference about the population is made based on the sample that was collected. Incorrect sample may lead to incorrect inference about the population. So the definition of sampling can be like this. That is, a sampling is a process of selecting a subset of observation from the population to make the inference about various population parameters such as the mean, proportion, standard deviation, and etc. So we have already seen in unit number 2 that what the population and the sample is. So suppose this is my population and this black dots shows the elements within the population. So out of this so many elements, if I take out only few of the elements from the population, then this will be my sample from this particular population. So what is sample? It is the subset of the population. It means subset means it is a part of the population. So a sample is generally selected for study because the population is too large to study in its entirety. So the sample should be representative of the general population. So in the unit number 2, we have taken the example of the election voting system in India. Suppose the total population of the India is 300 plus billions. So it is very difficult to analyze and to collect data of all this 300 plus billion people, and we want to identify that in the election which party will win. So what the news organization or the other organization is doing, what the media is doing, they are collecting the samples, that is they are collecting the data from 20 to 30,000 people, and they are predicting that which party will win. So this was the example of the election voting system in India, that is the example of the sampling. Now we will see the population parameters and the sample statistics. So when we talk about the parameters, then which parameters we are talking about? So the parameters for the population that we will see first. So in many real life problems, the population can be very large, making it impossible to collect every feature of each case in the population. So the measures such as the mean and the standard deviation calculated using the entire populations are called as the population parameters. So what is population parameters? The measures such as the mean or the standard deviation we are calculating by considering the entire population, that will be called as the population parameters. And this mean and standard deviation are represented as mu and sigma within the population parameters. Now what is sample statistic? So since the population parameters in most practical situations is almost impossible, so we depend on the samples to estimate the population parameters. So the population is very large, so it is difficult to calculate the population parameters, that is the mean and the standard deviation. So we are depending on the sample to calculate the population parameters. Again, I am repeating the sentence that we are depending on the samples to calculate the population parameters. So the definition is like this, that is the population parameters estimated from the sample are called as the sample statistic. So the sample statistic is denoted by the symbol, that is x bar for the mean and s or small s for the standard deviation, and sometimes x hat or sigma hat is also used for the sample statistics. So this two symbols are different. If mu is written in the formula, it means it is the population parameter. If X bar is written for the mean, it means it is sample statistics. So in addition to the sample mean and the standard deviation, we frequently estimate the population proportion, that is the P, which is the proportion of cases in the data belonging to a specific category. Assume that the bank classifies its customer based on the risk categories, the risk as the low, medium, and the high risk category. So, we would like to know what proportions of the population belong to categories, that is 1, 2, and 3. So, which are denoted by P1, P2, P3 respectively. So, what we have to do over here, that we want to identify that which people or which customers are belonging to the low risk category, which people or customers are belonging to the medium risk category, and which people or customers are belonging to the high risk category into this particular banking sector. So that will be represented like this, that is population under the category 1, that is the P1, population under the category 2, that is the P2 and P3 respectively. So its formula will be given like this, that is for P1, that is the P1 cap as N1 divided by N1 plus N2 plus N3. Now what is this N1, N2 and N3? These are the number of cases under the categories, that is the low risk, medium risk and high risk. So for identifying the population or the people or the customers for the low risk category, the formula is like this, that is the total number of people in the low risk category divided by the total population, that is N1 plus N2 plus N3. Similarly, if you want to find the population or the people inside the second category, that is the medium category, it means the people inside the medium category divided by the total population. So the process of identifying a subset from a population of elements is called the sampling process. So if you want to perform the sampling, then the following steps are included in the sampling process. So which are the steps? Let's see. The first one is to identify the target population. The second one is decide the sampling frame. The third one is determine the sample size. And the fourth one is the sampling method. So let's see turn by turn all these steps, that what these steps are telling. So if you want to perform the sampling, so these are the steps included in the sampling process. So the first step was identification of the target population that is important for a given problem under study. Just for an example, assume that we are interested in studying the attrition among young professionals in India. Now, the attrition among young professionals. So, this definition is very generalized if you view this definition very carefully. So, there are so many professions available. Suppose the IT is there, computer is there, mechanical is there, civil is there, then chartered accountants is there, finance related professions, literature related professions are there, then young professionals in India. So in India, the amount of young people is very large. So if you consider this particular definition, then the size of the population is very large. So what you have to do over here, you have to identify the target population, that is on which specific category you want to focus. So the other definition, the better definition you can give like this, that is the attrition among the IT professionals in the age group of 25 to 30 years in India. So in the professions, we have extracted only the IT professionals, and from the young generation, we have given the age group that is between the age of 25 to 35. So this is how you can make a better definition. So this is what the exact target population is. This is very generalized definition. So this is what is about the identification of the target population. So for defining the definition, you must be very specific about the point in the definition. The second one is decide the sampling frame. So sampling frame defines the source or the method, or we can say the procedure used for identifying the elements of the target population. So defines the source. The sampling frame defines the source. It means, just for an example, to analyze the attrition among the IT professional, sources such as the LinkedIn and the job portals, just like the Naukri.com and the Monster, can be used. So, where to collect this data? From where to collect this data? So, which are the sources? So, these are the sources. So, it will decide the sampling frame. The third one is determine the sample size. So determining the sample size for the data collection is important, since collecting data can be expensive and at the same time insufficient sample results in the lack of precision in the estimation of the parameters. So the sample size for the analytics projects is determined using the factors such as the effect size, the standard deviation, the desired level of confidence, and the margin of error. The fourth one is the sampling method, that which sampling method should be used. So there are the sampling methods are classified into two categories, that is the probabilistic sampling and the non-probabilistic sampling. So the probabilistic sampling is can be further classified into various categories that we will see in our next lecture. Similarly, the non-probabilistic sampling can be again classified into various categories. So which sampling method should be used? So the sampling method is a technique used for selecting the individual cases in the sample from the target population using the sampling frame. So from this video lecture, you can answer these questions, that is, what is sampling? What are the population parameters? What is sample statistics? Which steps are included in sampling? So, thank you for watching.